Let's talk music now, and their music career started when they were experimenting with production software. South African artist Mx Blouse released their single yesterday titled Learn to Love You, featuring Amara Flur. Now the song is all about the thrill of falling in love. When someone is learning to love another person with the intention of pursuing a relationship, they often experience a roller coaster of emotions. So getting to know someone new and the possibility of a new connection can be quite exciting, I must say. So Mx Blouse joins us now in studio to tell us more. Mx Blouse, a very good morning. Thanks for joining us. Welcome.
Morning to you. Thanks for having me.
Good to have you on the show this morning. Let's talk about Learn to Love You. What inspired this song?
A personal journey of growth. As much as the song is written from the perspective of speaking to a new lover, someone that you are falling in love with, it's also a song about falling in love with yourself. Because I truly believe that in order to love someone else, you need to know how to love to begin with.
Okay.
And I think there's a lot of us who are zombieing through life. We don't know what it actually looks like to love yourself.
So through this song, are you telling your own personal story of love, or is it just a generic version of
my own personal
love is?
Story of coming to realize what it means to love myself, and therefore being able to attract someone that I can have a sustainable relationship with. Yeah.
And how does this single reflect your genre fluid style, and what genres influence it?
Well, R&B is my favorite genre. So that's one of the core kind of genres that I was looking into. And lo-fi music as well, and also a little bit of jazz. I do love my jazz.
Okay.
So those are the three main genres that we kind of put together for this project, yes.
So it's like an R&B, jazzy kind of influence.
Lo-fi kind of thing, yes.
And I see you've also roped in the services of Amara Flur. So what was it like collaborating with Amarafleur, and what kind of influence do they add into this?
I think I discovered Amarafleur's music about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And the voice is what drew me in. And when I started making this project, I didn't think I wanted to have a singing vocal on it. But when we were done producing the instrumental, I looked at my producer and I was like, I think Amara Flur needs to be on this one. And it's so funny because I ran into her late December. I was having fun somewhere. And I was like, listen, first thing next year, we need to talk.
Yeah.
And we made it happen. People don't actually realize how difficult it is to get a fellow artist to collaborate.
Really?
I mean, people agree in principle, right? But just like getting together.
I would imagine they'll just jump at that opportunity.
But making it happen is always, people are always busy doing that and that.
Yeah, sure.
And with this, it just happened so easily. So I think it was meant to be.
So what was it about Amara Flur that drew you? Was it her voice, or was it her projection of her vocal abilities, or was it just the delivery?
It's the voice, it's her delivery, and I think what I required for the song, I mean, kind of wanted the song to feel sad but optimistic at the same time.
Okay.
Because I think parts of you have to quote unquote die in order for you to be able to fall in love, right? So I needed that little bit of sadness that has some optimism to it, and I think her voice was perfect to encapsulate that.
You know, I do take a point that, you know, a part of you needs to die for you to fully experience love and fully immerse yourself in love. And
because you have to surrender to it,
because you have to surrender. It's a sacrifice. It's 100%. A major sacrifice. 100%. And having said that, how do you hope your listeners will interpret the song and make it speak to them in their own personal way?
I think falling in love is something we all experience, but I think we are at a place in the world right now where the world is just so crazy and disasters everywhere. Looking inside, I think, is something that more and more people are doing these days. And certainly for me, this is a journey of looking back inside of myself for happiness, you know. So I think people might relate to it in that way,
Yeah. You know, Sandile, love can be interpreted in different ways in different communities and in different countries. But what do you think, what is the kind of role that you think music can play in terms of promoting self-love and acceptance, especially in the South African setting?
I mean, I think we're going through now I don't know what to call it, instability with our political situation, or whatever it is. And I think this is a time that requires patience and tolerance for everyone. So I think that is something that love can teach us, because music forces you to step into someone else's shoes, and to understand other people. So I think that's definitely a role music can play, to remind people that love is a healer.
Sure.
And
Definitely
love
is.
can unite. 100%.
Right, now that you've already had, this idea in your mind and you put pen and paper to it, let's talk about the entire creative process. What did that entail?
Well, generally the kind of music I make is dance leaning. People have said I'm a kwaito artist. I don't think I am, but my music does have that kind of influence. And I was actually in the middle of creating an EP of dance-oriented music towards the end of last year, when in the middle of making a song, I wasn't connecting to the music. Because in my personal life, I wasn't feeling that kind of joy and euphoria of being out there and having a good time. I think the universe was calling me to be silent and to listen. And I took that call, and I mean, it's so cliche to say the music wrote itself, but the minute I accepted that I quit drinking, I quit a lot of things in my life, just to be able to be silent, listen to my soul, listen to my heart, and be carried by that. And I think once I surrendered to that, the ideas just came.
So what makes you feel at ease and at peace and just being happy about your own self?
Right
I know
now?
music is one of them.
I mean, I think I mentioned earlier, when you say you love yourself, what does that actually look like? When you love someone else, there's nothing that you wouldn't do for them. Or at least this is what we say, there's nothing I wouldn't do for you. I would kill for you, and all of those things. Putting that into practice for yourself.
Would you really do that for yourself? That's
for
a big
yourself,
question.
that's the thing. So it's all those questions that I was thinking about when I was making this project. What are the things that I'm willing to do for someone else that I say I love? And can I do those things for myself? And if I can't, what does that say about how I feel about myself? And also the way that people treat you, the things that you accept from people, it's all part of that. So being conscious of that and putting into practice what it means to love myself is something that's making me very happy right now.
All right. Mx Blouse, great chatting to you, man. Thank you so much for joining us. And what I love about this project is that, it's not only about music. It doesn't only make us, click our fingers and then tap our feet and hum through it, but it's also an opportunity to reflect
100%.
on some of these issues we've just mentioned. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Great stuff. That was musician Mx Blouse talking to us about this morning about their song Learn to Love You that was released yesterday and is available in all streaming platforms.